Hi, my name is Tamara and I'm here to share chair yoga with you today. So all you really need to have is a sturdy chair that can support you to sit in it or to stand in it. There should be no wheels in the chair. So have a seat. Bring your hands to rest on the backs of the thighs and kind of sit up. Let the thumbs and the index fingers touch and the eyes should close. Feel a softness coming over your shoulders and a heaviness in the seat. We feel the tissues around our sitting bones soften and spread. And take a deep breath in through the nose and let it go through an open mouth. Again, big breath in through the nose and the chin lifts a little. Letting it go at an open mouth. And now, doing this again and continuing on your own. When you bring the breath up, you feel the heart rise and expand, and when you're ready to let it go, let an open mouth. Feel the tension melting away with each exhale. And we feel more grounded as we connect the feet to the floor just below. And now flutter the eyes open. Let the hands flip over. Now the hands are on the thighs. And as we begin to move in our body, I'll just ask you to listen to how you're feeling throughout the practice. Every movement should feel good. If something hurts, you stop. Try not to hold your breath if you don't need to. Inhale, the arms rise up to the crease of the hips. Look up. Exhale, and we come forward. Folding over the thighs, the hands just come to the knees, and then we round up, letting the hands lift up to the crease. Exhale, coming forward. Your knees can separate a little bit if you'd like to make space for movement, that's fine. And maybe your hands start to go down the shins as you fold in. And rise up. Lowering in. And one more time. Lowering over the thighs. The hands slide. The head bows. And then lift up. The hands now face one another, so the fingertips are pointing toward one another. And we're inhaling over the left shoulder. Exhale to the right. Continue. Inhale left. Exhale right. Slowly. Still grounded through the sitting bones and through the feet. The legs are heavy. Come to center, flutter your eyes open. Good. And let the hands face forward. So now we'll lift the right arm up Let the hand take the back of the head. And we'll just lean over to the left and come back to center. Leaning to the left. Coming back up. One more time. Letting the right hand come back down to the thigh. And now it's the left arm that rises up. And the hand takes the back of the head and the elbow is facing out to the side. Inhale to begin the movement and exhale, leaning into the right. Lean in. And then we release the left hand back to waist. Now both arms will rise from our sides. The hands meet in prayer and lower down to the heart center. Interlace the hands, press them forward, and they rise overhead. And lower down by the sides. Again, palms face up as we lift the breath and the hands overhead. Our prayer lowers down to our heart center. Interlace the hands, press them forward and rise. The hands lower by our sides. Good. One more time. Arms lifting from our sides. Hands lowering down in prayer to heart center. Interlace the hands, press them up. And release the hands down by our sides. Good. Bring the right hand over to the left thigh. Move your seat over a little bit to the right side of the chair. Bring the left arm forward at shoulder height. And as we take our breath in, we're sweeping the arm behind us, letting the ribs move with us. And then just brush the hand back to center. Open it up. Keeping our gaze on the arm. Close. Open. Close. Releasing the hands to the edges of the chair, reorganize your seat. And bring the left hand to the right knee. The right arm extends forward at shoulder height. Lengthen upward. And then we'll open it up into the back space. Left arm back. Right arm back and forward. Sweep. Inhaling into the back space. And sweep. Bringing the hands to the sides of the chair, reorganize so you're sitting center. Good. So holding onto the sides of the chair, just lift the right knee up and then bring it down, sit tall. Left knee up, sit tall. So we're going to go side to side. It's like doing a abdominal crunch in the chair. Lengthen, fold, fold, good. Both feet are on the ground. Now, when we lift our arms from our sides, we lean forward and rise to standing. Lift the arms up. The hands lower down to the heart. And we sit back into the chair. Interlace the hands, they lift up. We're leaning in and rise to standing. And as our arms lower down, we sit back into the chair and lift the arms up. Coming forward. Arms rise, we come to standing. Hands lower to the heart, and we sit back into the chair. Interlace the hands, lift them up. The hands lower by our sides and sweep up from below, lifting us into chair pose only. And come back to sit. Right knee up and down. Sit tall. Left knee up. Sit tall. Going side to side for a few more times. One more each side. Good. Rise up. Come to stand behind the chair and bring your right hand onto the chair. Feet are hip distance apart. Left hand on the waist. Bring the right knee up and the right leg back to warrior one. Front knee is over ankle and our feet are hip distance apart. Releasing the left hand from the waist and the arm rises up. And then we lean forward, keeping the arm by the ear, and then let the arm lower down by the side. And we lift up, bringing the arm up from behind. Lean in, lower. And lifting the arm up. Bringing the left hand back to the hip. Right foot forward. And then we'll turn to the other side to do the same thing. Starting with feet hip distance apart. Left hand on the chair, right hand is on the hip. Lift the left knee up, send the left leg back, just behind the hip, toe heel down, feet are hip distance apart. And as we lift to center, we find ourselves in warrior one. Front knee is over ankle. Release the right arm from the waist and lift it up by the ear. If this is too much, you can always bend the elbow and receive the back of the head with your hand. Lean in. Let the right arm lower. And as we lift, the arm rises from behind, back to warrior one. Exhale, lean in. Lower. Lift. So the legs feel a little bit different depending on where your torso is at that time. One more. Lean in. The hand lowers. Rises from behind. Right hand back to the waist. Bring the left foot forward. Good. And then come to center on the chair. And just allow the legs to be a little wider than the chair and the toes to point out to the sides. So as we inhale, we lift the heart up. As we exhale, feel the knees bend. Make sure they're tracking over the toes. And we just let the hips go back. It's a squat. And then rise up. Inhale. Exhale, squat. Coming to squat one more time. Good. See if maybe you don't need your hands for a moment. That just intensifies it. And then lift up. And hands to heart. Bring the hands onto the back of the chair, and we're going to move this into a warrior two. So we'll let the left heel angle back and the right foot to point off to the right, and let the knee align over ankle. We want to bring our torso to center. Just center to the back of the chair. To come into warrior two, you can come with one arm or both. Good. And from here, we pump the warrior. So just let the front knee straighten, the arms lift. Exhale, lower in. We want to keep that front knee over the ankle and behind. Resist going in too far. Holding warrior two now. And coming into reverse warrior. If you have the balance, you can just tip right back here. But you can always bring left hand onto the chair for a little bit of support. As a side bend, hand overhead, or receiving the back of the head. So you have a cradle. Release. And we'll pivot the feet so that we can take that pose just to the other side. Warrior two. Good. Left knee over ankle, and the right foot, the heels just a little further back than the toes. And the arms rise to warrior two. And then we pump. Legs straighten. Come in. Remember, the chair is here if you need it. Good. Coming back to center. Bring the feet back together. So now we'll have a lunge. You want to make sure you have enough space back here where we can take the right foot and slide it back. So we're tucked under on the toes, and the left knee should be over the ankle. And you can wiggle the right toes back until you feel that stretch you're looking for in the hip flexor. Put a little bit of weight into the right heel and just look up. Okay, lean forward, start to bring that back foot forward. And then we'll find lunge pose on the other side. So taking now the left toes directly behind. Doesn't have to be that far, but you do want to feel something here now in the left hip flexor, right here at the crease. Look up and put a little bit of weight into your left heel, even though it's hovering. And then lean forward And bring that back foot back. Okay. So come back to the front of the chair. Arms rise up from our sides. Swan dive over your thighs. Lift up halfway and fold. Reverse swan dive up and then coming forward for chair pose, lifting out of the seat and come down. Arms up. Swan dive by folding over your thighs. Rise up halfway. Fold in. Reverse swan dive up. And then the arms come down to lift us out of the seat into chair pose. And we come down. Okay, so holding beneath the right thigh, interlace the hands, sit tall, extend the right leg forward, and then hug it in. Extend it forward, so you'll notice here your biceps are working just to hold the leg up. So there's that dual action, strengthening the leg, strengthening the arms. One more. Put that down. And we'll lift up the other side. Interlace the hands underneath the thigh. Lift the knee. Sit tall. Extend the leg. And bring it in. Cross your right knee over your left knee. Good. Lift the left arm. Bring the right hand to the back of the chair. Turn the torso and then lengthen a straight arm against the thigh. Seated twist. Come to center without changing the legs at all. Counter pose to the other side. Come to center. Uncross the legs. Bringing now the left knee over top. Taking the right arm forward, across, and press it against the left thigh. Bring the left hand to the back of the chair for support, and from here, we lengthen into a twist. Our twist includes the neck. So as we're lifting the breath, on exhale, we feel our head turning a little bit more to the left. legs as they are and move the torso to the other side. Come to center, uncross the legs. We lift up the right arm. Lower the shoulder. The back of the hand faces forward as we bend the elbow and reach for the base of the neck. We're stretching the tricep, and if you'd like, bringing up the left arm to assist, gently drawing the elbow back. And release. We'll do that to the other side. Bring the left arm up, lower the shoulder, back of the hand faces forward so we can bend the elbow, reach for the base of the neck. And we can invite the other hand to rise and just kind of help if you'd like. That go. Okay, from here, let the chin lower toward the chest, roll up toward the left shoulder, and pause there. And we take the right hand off the thigh and just extend the arm out to the right and point back through the fingertips. This will awaken a little bit more stretch there across the collarbone and across the shoulder. Bring the right hand back to the thigh, bring the chin back to center. And then we'll roll to now the right shoulder, and we hover right ear over right shoulder, and we take the left arm off the thigh and extend the arm back like an airplane wing, reaching through the fingertips. Center, bring the hand back to thigh. Bringing hands to heart, and we rise up by letting the hands sweep forward. Lift, heart expands, arms rise. And then the hands come back down to center as we sit back down. Arms open big. Right elbow over the left, and decide what's more available right now. A shoulder pull, or backs of the hands touching, or the palms. They're all similar. Once you're in place, it's the exhaling elbows down toward the navel. And this will create the stretch in the upper back and shoulders. Deep breath. So inhale, and then arm arms draw forward and then down with the elbows toward the navel. Do that one more time. Good. Unwind the arms. Feel the left ear lower to the left shoulder. Come back to center. Right ear, right shoulder. To center. Take the pointer and the middle finger on each hand. Find where the jaw makes the connection to our head. And create small circles right here at the connection. And then lowering down the jaw. So we're just looking for any tightness in the jaw and releasing it. A little bit of massage. So I think we can come into our resting pose now. So to rest in the chair, just kind of lean back a little bit. If there's anything else you need to do movement-wise, of course you're welcome to do so. Any more twists or side to side. Otherwise, palm on palm, thumbs touch. And we'll have just a little bit of sound therapy to wrap up the class. So I'll turn that off. Tibetan singing bowl. You don't have to breathe any particular way right now, just nice and easy, in through the nose, out through the nose. And then a little bit of symphonic calm. So from here, I invite you to deepen your breath. Begin to move your fingers and your toes. Rotate your wrists and your ankles. Stretch the arms overhead one more time, and the hands come to heart. And we open our hands over heart center, interlaced, so we can conclude with 3 deep cleansing breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Beginning now. Inhale. 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 And then we lift the hands up to the forehead and just taking a moment to acknowledge Source, having a thought of gratitude, or maybe sending a prayer. And with that, I thank you so much for coming to chair yoga with me, Tamara, and enjoy the rest of your day. You can find me and more videos on www.mindbodynow.com.